Welcome to Best Car Fixes. This is Mohamed Harun Idris. Please subscribe, share, and like. This is Mohamed Harun Idris. Today we have 2000, actually from 2000 to 2005, Toyota RAV4 2.0 liter. Try to explain today about how the starter work on this car, on those cars. From 2000 to 2005 Toyota RAV4. It could be some Camrys. It could be the same year Cross, Toyota Corolla, Corona, Camry, Hilux. It could be the same theory. But let us, if you understand this one, we will get more information later. First, the starter need power. A main power, that means directly from the battery, and then you need an activator to connect that battery. Meanwhile, the activator have to pull the bendix or the pinion, the starter pinion that is still to crank on the flywheel to turn the engine. Now, before that, people use manville, manville or a cable. They put like a crank metal there, and then somebody have to turn it by hand down on the days when the first time start. And what happened is one of the I don't know his name, but he tried to do that, and the man fell, turned back and hit the guy and killed him. So Mr. Ford said, no, I don't need this kind of risk. I need starter. So they create this starter, as you see here. Electrical starter is turned by power. By the way, new cars, hybrid cars, they get rid of the starter, they get rid of alternator. So most of the hybrid car, they don't have a starter, they don't have alternator. Some of them, they have it. Now, let us go to the starter. How does it work? They make the relay. It's easy for us, instead of sending power directly from the key there, get burned. A lot of stuff happen, but relay have a lot of functionality that is good. Now, if you see this relay have 4 contact, 1, 2, 3, 4 contact. If you take it out, if you need to take this out, it have a pin here. You have to move this pin. You see that pin here, all the way there. You have to put something sharp and push it this way. You see this here? You have to push this way to let the relay go. When you take the relay out and you stay here by the fender, you're gonna see 4 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. That's my car. Okay, let me stop it. Sorry. Okay. Now, when you take this out, you're gonna have the starter. The starter have 1, 2, 3, 4. The relay need a ground to close. Where the ground come to the relay? You see here, this is a magnetic place that we have power, we have ground. It create a magnet. It pull this 1 to 5 close and send power 1 to 5 or 3 to 5. What it is? Yeah, it close 3 and 5 close and then send power to the star. Now, what happened if this pin here that grounding the relay, if it doesn't work, the car will not crank. Okay, what that means? For example, this 2 wire here and here, as soon as you crank, they will bring power. But the power that coming on these 2, can you crank it? Crank. No, just, yeah, put in drive and crank. Put in park. Okay, now crank. You see? Leave the key, hold the key on the cranking. Okay, you see here I have power, and here I have power. One power to be ready to transfer it here to crank the car. and one power is to energize the relay to close. This one and this one have to close. That means if I stop it now, leave your hand. If I put this wire here, and if I put this wire here, no, leave the key. Leave the key. And I put this power here, the car will start. Start it. Good. The car is start. But very dangerous. Why? Because the car could start in any place. It could start in neutral, it could start in park, it could start in drive, any place. This is why they make relay, that the relay have to get ground from the transmission safety neutral switch or from the engine computer. For example, turn it off. Okay, right now you see the car is in park. Can you put the car in reverse? Reverse. Now you see in reverse, there is no ground to activate the relay to close. That means right now, if I put this relay here, can you crank? Nothing, because there is no ground to the relay, because reverse, the safety neutral switch, which is located somewhere on the transmission by the transmission cable. You see there, on the bottom there is safety neutral switch. There is a ground coming to the safety neutral switch, come out from the safety neutral switch and coming here. To ground there's coil. If that ground does not reach here in this side, the coil will not close. So what happens is, the coil doesn't close, the car will not start. So this is to put you in a safety position, that you will not, in a safety place, that you will not start the car while the car in drive and then you hit someone. And the same thing also, they put it in a manual transmission. They put a switch on the clutch. That means if you don't push the clutch, there is no ground coming here to activate the relay. Okay, put the car in drive. D. Now you start. Start. Crank. Oh, because the relay is not all the way in. Go. Start. Maybe you don't put the car in drive. No, not in drive, sorry, in park, sorry. Park. Start. Good. You see? The car is starting park. Now, go back, put it in drive. Turn the car off. In drive? Nothing, right? Put it in neutral. Neutral, put it in neutral. No, put the car in neutral. Start. Yes. So, if the safety neutral switch is in park or in neutral, the car will start. I'm gonna move it. You need to put something there. Okay, 1 second. If you want to take the relay out, you see, you push this pin away while pulling the thing and it will come out. So consider that this place here is the ground for the relay to close, and these two power from the ignition switch. Ignition switch get power from fuse number AM2, this fuse. That means if you take this fuse out, you will not get power coming here. Let me show you. It's not easy to take. You need a plier or something stronger to take this fuse. Anyhow, just be sure that this fuse have to be good. Now, what happens if I turn the key off? Now, we understand that this is a ground that coming from the safety neutral switch to activate the relay, to close the relay. So that if the car is not in safety, if the car is not in park or it's in neutral, there is no ground here, the car will not crank. This is why I say this car doesn't want to crank. Be sure your car is in a neutral or in park. Now, the second one here, this is the starter output. If the car is in park and you're sure the car is in park, or if you want to just try if the starter is good or not, give power here. You see? For example, if you want to work in the car and you have nobody to give you hand while you are working, be sure the car is in park. Take one wire here and just anytime you want to crank, look for battery place and just put it into the battery and the car will crank. But be professional. Don't crank it while the car is in drive. For example, also if the relay go bad and you want to try to start the car, you can put it here. Start it now. Start. Yeah. But this one, it will start in any place. You bypass it. You bypass the safety here. It can start in park, it can start in neutral, it can start in anything, which means that you can start it and the car will start running, and this is not safe. So we know that for sure. This is the 2 power that coming from this fuse, go to the ignition switch. When you turn the key, power coming here. If there is a car is in park or in neutral, it will send ground here. The magnet will collapse or will close, pull down the contact, and it pass power from here into this pin to start the car. This is the location of the starter relay for those Toyota RAV4, and the color of the starter is this one here. In the fuse box, they call it S. You see here? ST. Only one fuse, one relay here, and it's going this side. If you want to put it in, be sure this side go in. And this starter relay, I believe, for a lot of cars. Maybe it serves more than hundreds of cars, but location are different. I want to just show you one more thing, that if you disconnect the safety neutral switch, the car, this one will never work again. If the car is not in park, will not work. And also to know if the safety neutral switch is good or not, while the car is in park, we have ground. Put the car in neutral, in drive, push the brake. You see now, I don't have nothing. That mean what? That mean it's good. And also, while you're cranking, this, it will, when the power go here, it will send signal also to the engine control module that, look, we are cranking. What left more? I just want to show you, if this fuse here is not available, there will not be power here. Put the car in park. Okay. Also get something called relay puller. It's very good, it's very strong. You need to use this relay puller, because if you try to pull the relay without doing the right way, you see here, this relay puller. Get a relay puller if you want to work on mechanic. It's very good. It can go up. This is the part number here from Blue Point. Okay, now with the only one left, let me see if I can take this relay. Okay, turn the car off. You see, I took this fuse out, right? Now, you see, I need 2 power here. Crank it. Okay, that's not the fuse. Crank again. Okay, maybe the other one. Let me put this. It's supposed to be ST1. Crank it. You have to have a wiring diagram. So all this. No. You crank. Okay, this is not the fuse for the 30, what they call the 30 arm fuse that is gonna go to the starter. You need to get the location of that fuse. That fuse. They call it. You see here. This is a fuse puller. Fuse puller is here. So do you think that this one here? Because we have fan relay too. I'm gonna get it now, because I'm sure one of them. This is where starter. I'm sorry. This is where wiring diagram is very important. Crank it. It's not. So where? This one? You see all this? They call it, I look at the wiring diagram. Let me put that one back. Let me put this one too back. I don't want to confuse you, but I'm supposed to get the wiring diagram correctly. Crank it. So, what I know is I shouldn't get, okay, give me 1 minute. I want to see where is this power coming from. Fuse AM2 30 amps. Fuse AM2 30 amps. Let's look at it now. Fuse AM2 30 amps. AM2 30 amps here. This fuse puller. Fuse puller is here. This one. AM2 30 amps here. Then it could be this. I don't believe so. But one of those fuses supposed to be. Let me do the test quick. Okay. On the wiring diagram, it say AM fuse. I'm just gonna show you something very strange. If you come here, no, that the main fuse. You see here, we have to understand how those fuses work. You see, this is the main fuse, 100 amps. Maybe what they call 100 amp main fuse, and this is by the firewall right side of the engine. It's supposed to be somewhere here. You need to get that. Could be a fusible link, or could be anything that's here. When you spend a little bit of time, you will get it. So leave this one a little bit. Now from here it will go to fuse. That fuse, they call it inside the engine room, AM fuse 30 amps. You see, from here there is another fuse. You say AM2. This is why I emphasize for anyone who have wiring diagram, he have to go. This is from Aldara. Aldara, they have a good subscription. 3 months they give you for $30, and then after that every year, like every month, like $180 for 3 technicians. Try to get wiring diagram. But still, this is driver junction box, but here engine room, left side of the engine compartment, there is AM2 30 amp fuse. Let me look at it exactly in a few and locate that one. Is it maybe those small one? I'm gonna see it now. On this is a fuse puller, and we have 2 fuses here. This is what they say AM. You see, if you go by wiring diagram, this is AM fuse 30 amps, and I pull all this side out. Still I'm getting power here. I don't know. Oh, I know why. I know why. If you take the fuse that say 30 amps, which is AM, or because I took all this here, and still I have power. You know the reason why? Because this car have remote starter. You see? You see somebody put remote starter in this car. You see that antenna there? It's the antenna for remote starter. And the people of the remote starter, sometimes to start the car, you need the 2 power that coming to the ignition. They need to take 2 power, and sometimes they join the power together. So they take a power from full power and another power that going to the ignition switch. They join together, and then this one, instead of having only power when you disconnect it, the other line from the remote starter give us a feedback here into the relay. I believe that's what happened. If it's not, Aldara is very accurate. I cannot say everything is accurate, but they do their best to do 99.9 or 99. They are good. I'm not selling stuff here, but they giving information clear or near to. This information here, after I take those fuse, I should not get power here, here, and here in these two. But anyhow, when you crank it. But anyhow, we have power, and we found why, because there's add-on accessories. So these two are power. If you jump these two, or this one here, anyone, those two, if you put it here, you can crank the car in any position. If you just want to know if my starter is good or not, somebody try to start it from there and it doesn't, just put this one here, be sure the car is in park. Car is in park, ignition on, and just push it here. You see? It will tell you you can start the car. Or if nobody is there to crank the car for you, just put power here and put one wire here and bring one wire from the positive side and push it in and start. What we learned from this, we learned that there is a fuse here, 30 amps feeding the ignition switch. Somebody rewire it. We know that this is the ground coming from the safety neutral switch if the car is automatic. If the car is manual, from the clutch switch. This is the starter line. Two are full power while you're cranking. The color of the relay is here. With the way it's go inside, this piece have to go this side here. You push it in. It started now. And that's what we have it for today. Thank you for running Diagnostic. Hopefully it helped a little bit. It took more time just to look at it and say and talk, but this is what we have it now. See you in another video. Please subscribe and share. Mohamed Harun Idris.